I'm curious, when WatchMojo was getting off the ground in 2005, 2006, do you think that it would have been possible in an era where the interest rates were significantly higher?
So I was going to take a risk. Like I was eager, I basically left Askman, pushed out, whatever, but I was like eager, ambitious, driven, insecure, like want to prove to the world that fuck it, there, I can make something happen.
Hmm.
I would have done this regardless. Like interest rates could have been 20%. I wasn't going to go take my money and put it in a bank, even if you're like, hey, 20, like even 8% a year was you would take, right? And again, if you put your money in the stock market, the historical 7-8% return of the S&P and the Dow, you double your money in 8 years. That's like the why compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world, right? I would not have. But you ask a very interesting point, because when then I ran out of money 2 years later and I went to the banks, the banks were not going to lend us money in the kind of 2022 environment where everybody is looking at their loan portfolio, any mortgages going down, any bad debts that they have. And that's what happens. That's what happened in the 2008 Great Recession. So I think I would have started the same way. But obviously, if interest rates were higher and debt markets were tighter, then no, I don't think I would have been able to go get, credit lines. I actually got a mortgage on my place because the WatchMojo wasn't a business. People would look at it. They're like, okay, I have a shrink here. You should talk to somebody. Why are you burning money like this? But the point was, it was a very, very speculative era where cheap money explains why every other day we had a competitor in New York or LA or San Fran launching, and they would all take strategies that sound good to investors, like we'll scale overnight and we'll automate production. Where I, as a storyteller, media guy, was like, that's bullshit. Like content farms don't make sense, and AI is a tool, and it could be a creative tool, not just the operational tool. But you need people to tell stories, whether you like it or not. So they could raise capital really easily, whereas I was like, nope, like my goal isn't the lowest cost. It's low enough is good enough. It's quality, it's balance, right? But it was hard because there was so much competition because money was free. So it's really hard to stay to not just like your principles in terms of fairness or whatever in your mind, but just in terms of operational, you see just a bunch of idiots lining up one after another, jumping, like running faster and jumping faster, quicker off of a cliff. And you're sitting there and you have to be positive. And sometimes you're like, well, maybe it's me, maybe it's our business, right?